Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Body of missing salesman found with a gunshot wound to the head. The body of 38-year-old car salesman Kamar Barrett was reported missing on Wednesday has been found. According to the police, Barrett's body was found at around 11:05 a.m. on Wednesday with a gunshot wound to the back of the head. He was last seen by his mother, Denise Cargill, on the day he was reported missing.
He drops off his daughter at school. He drops off sandwiches by some pharmacies that he does sandwiches for. And he comes by me, and then he would leave to go buy a garage. He buys and sells motor vehicles. He buys them, like damaged vehicles, repair them, and then sells them back. So he would go by the garage, and if he has car parts to purchase and stuff like that, he would go and do. And then, by 3 o'clock, he would be off again because he has his daughter to pick up back from school. Christian, his wife, called to find out if we had seen Kamar. But I told her it was him in the morning, that we did see him in the morning. But what happened, and she said that he didn't come home with Mila, with the baby, and when she called the school, the child was still there. Right away, she knew that something was wrong. So that was Wednesday night after we went to the police station, and it was at 3 o'clock, at about 3 a.m., that would be Thursday morning. She called me to say that she had gotten a call from the police that they were alerted to a car that was on fire on Ballot Avenue, somewhere thereabouts. And it turned out that it was his car. Not at all. Not to my knowledge, not to anybody's knowledge. So we don't know. We have no idea what happened.
Principal attack and chop at retirement primary school in St. Elizabeth last Friday, released from hospital. The principal who was attacked and chopped at the retirement primary school in St. Elizabeth last Friday, October 21, has been released from hospital. Anne-Marie Terrelong had been admitted to hospital after she was reportedly chopped to the head and upper body by a man she was trying to remove from the school compound. The incident rehashed conversations about safety in educational institutions. Speaking to reporters, chairman of the school board, Herman Samuels, said he is grateful that the principal is recovering well. He noted, however, that despite the counseling sessions offered by the Education Ministry, students are still traumatized and some had to be sent home this week. He said he hopes the Education Ministry will follow through on its promises to erect fencing and a security post at the school in short order.
Yes, thanks be to God, the principal is out of the hospital. She's doing much better. She's recuperated one day at a time. Much to be thankful for. I must be honest to you that some of them are still traumatized. We will be having another counseling session soon. The teachers are still at an edge. We have students that came in on Monday, Tuesday, and they haven't returned. We have to send home 2 students on Tuesday because they were crying and they said they want to go home. They were traumatized, and that is a boy and a girl. We are trying to cope with how Monday is going to turn out if all the students will be back on Monday. We are doing the best we can to ensure that the children remain calm, and the teachers as well, the staff, the academic staff, and the ancillary staff. They are shaking up, but we are doing the best we can, to keep everybody as calm as possible. Ministry of Education, Honorable Favor Williams, she make it known that on the top of her priority is the fencing for the retirement primary school. I myself heard it. That will be the top of the list, fencing and security and security posts. So we are looking forward towards that, and we'll hold them accountable for the promise.
Education Ministry making payments to teachers whose salaries were outstanding apologizes for delay. Education Minister Favor Williams has apologized to teachers in Clarendon who did not receive their monthly salaries on Tuesday, October 25th as scheduled. Up to late on October 27, many teachers were still not in receipt of their salaries. In a statement on October 28, the minister explained that the delay was due to an incorrect upload of information to the Central Treasury Management System. Mrs. Williams said the ministry is working to prevent a repeat of the occurrence and other unfortunate episodes with the implementation of the management system. She said when the system is fully implemented, it will significantly eliminate human error like the ones which caused this month's delay in payments. He said salary payments had commenced from October 27 between 7 and 8 p.m. Firearms Act to come into effect soon, says Senator Sinclair. Government Senator Charles Sinclair says the new Firearms Act recently passed into Parliament will be gazetted and officially informed no later than next week. He made the announcement as part of his State of the Nation's address yesterday afternoon in the Upper House.
As all senators are aware, any bill that is passed goes through a process of review to ensure its accuracy. The Attorney General Chambers will review it. It is ultimately printed. It is assented to by the Governor General. It is ultimately gazetted. So, President, my information is that the firearms bill should be gazetted by latest Monday of next week. So everyone claims to have rights, but they forget, it seems, that the flip side of every right is a responsibility to the state and to his fellow man. Mr. President, it is simple. It's a very simple suggestion I'm going to make. Very simple. But I will say this. In the anticipated review of the Jamaica Constitution, I recommend that the provisions in our Constitution, which is headed Charter of Rights, it is headed Charter of Rights. We must amend it to read Charter of Rights and Responsibilities. Let us put the emphasis on both, because it is the flip side, one to the other. Cannot be run from. You cannot have effective governance if everything is done from central government. And so local government needs to, the act needs to be reviewed. Mr. President, the Constitution in this review also must fully entrench. There's a little half-baked type of entrenchment of place in local government in the Jamaica Constitution. It must be fully entrenched in the Jamaica Constitution with fixed election date. We must come here to any parliament and be asking for extension, etc. Set it. Let us set it in the Constitution with fixed election dates.
DPP reacts to appeal court ruling, increasing sentence for murder accused Lindell Powell to life imprisonment. At last, the pendulum of justice is swinging in both directions for the accused and for the prosecution. That was a declaration made on October 28 by Director of Public Prosecution Paula Llewellyn after her office won its first appeal case. The DPP had appealed the very lenient sentence given to Lindell Powell. On December 2nd last year, Powell was sentenced to 12 years in prison for the murders of Oral McIntosh in Lincoln District, Grange Hill, Westmoreland on January 7, 2017 and Ika Clark between March 25 and 26, 2017 in Mount Mountain, also in Grange Hill, Westmoreland. The Court of Appeal increased his sentence to life imprisonment.
He had pleaded guilty to 2 counts of murder. He had been given as sentence 12 years, eligible for parole after serving 10. And we appealed. And the Court of Appeal agreed with us, allowed the appeal, and substituted the sentence for life imprisonment on each count. The first count, he is to serve 20 years before being eligible for parole. And on the second count of murder, he is to serve 24 years before being eligible for parole. And sentences are to run concurrently. At last, the prosecution, and when I say prosecution, as a matter of law, the case of Harry Daly, it was stressed that it comprises the investigator and the prosecutor. So at last, the pendulum of justice is swinging in both directions, not only for the accused, but also for the prosecution.
Meanwhile, attorney at law Linton Garden has noted that the appeal case win from the director of the public prosecution against what was deemed a very lenient sentence for a murder accused raises questions about the interests of justice. This afternoon appeal today increased the sentence for Lindell Powell. Mr. Garden said an issue with the case raises relates to an accused person's ability to afford appeal in comparison to the office of the DPP.
Of course, the wider issue that the public should perhaps look at is whether the concept or the idea or the right of appeal to the DPP will in the long run be in the interest of justice in Jamaica, or it may create the opposite effect. And secondly, the question is whether the there will be multiple appeals, resulting in persons who cannot afford further legal fees being not able to compete with the DPP. The law is in effect. Nobody can go against that or can deny that. It's a matter for us to all adjust to, and we will see down the road whether this will result in more matters going to the DPP or law and order becomes more effectively used to provide justice for all.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click